Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to another review. And as you can see, I'm back in my dorm room because classes are starting up next week. So I figured before things get really busy, I would just get out a quick review for you guys. But not just a regular review, it's a re-review on an episode that I did in the past, back in the beginning parts of my YouTube career. And that is on the SpongeBob episode, Blackened Sponge. Now, I've done a re-review before. I've done it on Teen Titans Go's Serious Business, and I've also done it on Total Drama's, I Triple Dog Dare You. Go check those videos out if you haven't seen them yet. So I figured I would do a re-review of SpongeBob's Blackened Sponge for two big reasons. One, I want one that's, much better quality, much better editing, and of course, much better audio. Now, this is the first time I'm actually using an R9 microphone, so this thing can pick it up from a good distance away. But, of course, when you put your headphones in there, it has, this really awkward noise in there. So, it still works, but, hopefully you guys don't hear that, little awkward noise on your end. So just let me know in the comments below how this microphone sounds to you, because I always try to get better for each and every video I make, whether it's editing or script writing or, in this case, audio. So just let me know in the comments. But anyway, I figured I would do a re-review on Blackened Sponge because, one, I wanted it to look better, and two, again, I don't really see a whole lot of people talk about this episode. Heck, people weren't even talking about this episode a lot when I first talked about it back in 2016. The only other person I saw who did it was Pie Guy Rules when he did his SpongeBob Season 5 episodes reviewed video. Aside from that, I don't think I've seen anybody else do it. Maybe there probably is a couple people, but if there is, maybe they're not ones that are very popular. So now the thing is, when I did originally review this, it actually was my most popular video at the time. Yeah, when I first started, I didn't exactly get a whole lot of people to watch me, but when I made that review, that was actually my first real big hit video, and for a while it was one of my most popular videos. That is, until the Teen Titans Go videos came along, and of course, the rest is history. So now, about over, 5 years later, I figured, do a re-review on this and just let's see if my opinion on it has changed for the better or the worse, or maybe it's not changed at all, because I originally said it was a decent episode. So let's see what I think of it today. So let's go ahead and get ourselves started. And of course, you know the drill by now if you've seen my videos. Summary first, thoughts after. Okay, let's begin. So it starts off with SpongeBob having a very fantastical dream, saving a damsel in distress who's tied to the tracks, and he's like this big muscular superhero fighting off an evil villain who's called Jackham Crazy Fish. So they start to fight, but it's not exactly the kind of fight you'd expect. SpongeBob cracks his knuckles, which hurts the villain's ears, and then they get in a thumb war. And then they start fighting about Jackham Crazy Fish cheating. And then the train suddenly starts coming by, and the lady's like, "Hey, save me, please!" So before SpongeBob could save her, that's when he wakes up from his dream. So now he's feeling all really prideful and confident and strong, and he figures he can do anything. So he goes into the bathroom, puffing out his chest, trying to open some toothpaste, but he can't, because, he's kind of a weakling. So he goes ahead and finds a wrench to get the toothpaste open, and it works, but the cat then goes flying everywhere, ricocheting all over the walls of the bathroom, and it hits him right in the face. Now, luckily, there was no damage, so he's totally fine. But, unfortunately, the cap ended up on the floor, SpongeBob doesn't see it, so he trips on it, and the wrench hits him right in the eye. And it leaves it all black and swollen. So, it's... To SpongeBob, it's a really embarrassing injury. So, I can understand that. If you try and told people about what happened to your black eye in that way, I'm sure there'd be some people that would snicker at it. Oh, how did I get this black eye? Oh, I was trying to open some toothpaste, I couldn't do it, so I used a wrench to open it, and the cap came flying everywhere, it landed on the ground, I tripped on it, and then whoop, wrench went in my eye. There probably will be at least maybe one or two people who would do that. Jerks. But anyway, so SpongeBob decides to go to work in glasses because he wants to hide his black eye at first. But Patrick comes by, discovers it, and is like, "Hey, did somebody hurt you or something? Let's go ahead and find this guy. We'll sue him," that kind of thing. But SpongeBob says, no, don't need to do that. This I got it in a fight. And that's when he starts to lie about what really happened, to avoid embarrassment. So he starts coming up with these really crazy, outlandish stories about how he got this black guy from this Jack M. Crazy Fish villain. Starts making up all bunch of crap, like, oh, he's 60 feet tall, he was big, he was mean, but SpongeBob was able to teach him a lesson, that kind of thing. So Patrick, being the dumbass that he is, believes it. Then SpongeBob comes across Sandy, and Sandy asks about the black guy, and then SpongeBob, of course, comes up with another big, very stupid story on how he got the black guy, which is completely different from how he first told it. And then, now at this point, he's like, oh yeah, I'm this big, strong guy with this big black guy. Like, nothing's gonna really stop me now. So he goes into the Krusty Krab and just kind of becomes a nuisance to some of the customers in Squidward. So now, he grabs the microphone and is like, hey, I'm gonna tell you all how I got this black guy, even though most people don't really care. So SpongeBob still tells him the story anyway, and then leaves the customers like, what the hell? But here's the big gigantic twist. Now, he's been talking a lot about Jack M. Crazy Fish in his dreams and all of his fake stories. But here's the big twist. Turns out that Jack M. Crazy Fish is a real person. Yeah, I'm not kidding. He just walks right into the Krusty Krab, surprising everybody. And SpongeBob gets cold feet and is like, oh, no, I was just kidding about those stories. I'm sorry. Please don't beat me up. Please don't beat me up. And that's when he tells everyone the truth, how he really got the black guy. So he actually recreates it, and he gives himself another shiner. So he's like, so now you see, I just did all this just to avoid embarrassment so I wouldn't look stupid. But there's two things. One, he still ended up looking stupid regardless. And number two, Jack M. Crazy Fish didn't come to the Krusty Krab to beat him up. He came because he heard that SpongeBob can make a really good Krabby Patty. So SpongeBob makes him one, but accidentally spills it all over him because, well, he's got two black eyes. He can barely see. So he starts apologizing, but Jack M. Crazy Fish is like, no, this won't cut it. We sell things in a different kind of way where I come from. And how do they sell it? With a fucking thumb war. Of course. And that's how the episode ends. So, what are my thoughts on it? Well, there's nothing really too crazy about it. There's nothing really too grand. And it's not like I'm going to say like, oh, this is the best SpongeBob episode ever. No, it's just a very simple and entertaining episode. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And the jokes, they were pretty funny. I mean, the expressions are pretty priceless. Some of the lines are actually pretty well written. The deliveries from some of the voice actors are also pretty good too. And there's a lot of really good out of context moments too. Like SpongeBob, just being kind of a dick to a grandma. Like, the scenes with the grandma are really hilarious. Like, if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. And there's even a moment where SpongeBob kind of intimidates Squidward. Like, SpongeBob's going, now I suppose some of you are wondering how I got this black eye. And then he hears, well, not really. Then he's like, okay, who said that? Was it you, Grandma? And it turns out it was Squidward who said it. And then he's like, it was me, I said it. And then SpongeBob kind of turns to him like, SpongeBob kind of scares Squidward a bit. Like, Squidward's kind of like, taken aback by that. So, that was kind of funny, too. But, of course, the best out-of-context moment in the entire episode was when SpongeBob finally finished up his third stupid and fake story, and then out of nowhere he just shouts, woo! Football! Like, what? Like, that's gotta be one of the best out-of-context moments, not just in SpongeBob, but just in animation history. Like, it still makes me laugh even to this day. So yeah, it's a pretty funny episode, and of course it also does have a pretty decent moral. Like, just, when you get down to it, just tell the fucking truth. If some people laugh, then that's their business, that's their problem, it really isn't yours. I mean, there's been times where I've injured myself in pretty stupid ways, and I'm sure you guys have had that happen to you too. So, it really isn't that completely embarrassing, just tell it to somebody that's interested, to someone who actually really cares. But also, another moral that it teaches too is like you can tell a big fantastical story all you want, but don't get too carried away with it like SpongeBob did it when he got to the Krusty Krab and decide, you know what, everyone is gonna hear my story whether they like it or not. Like, just don't do that. Don't. So yeah, funny episode, good morals. It's really entertaining, so is there anything that's wrong with it? Well, honestly, I can't say. There really isn't any nitpicks I have with it. I guess maybe the only nitpick I have with it is, like, there's maybe a couple moments where the animation can have a bit of an error. Like, I think there's one when, like, SpongeBob's, like, trying to cover up his story to Patrick is like, I woke up. Oh, I mean, like, you can kind of notice it just a little bit. But aside from that, there's nothing else I can complain about. It's a pretty damn good episode. I mean, nothing grand. It's not like the greatest episode or anything like that. It's not even like top 10. It's just a simple, fun episode with some really good jokes, a decent moral, and a really nice ending with some really funny, out of context moments for people that are either SpongeBob fans or not even SpongeBob fans at all. So yeah, I highly recommend this episode. And if I had to give it a final score, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this re-review, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also check out my Twitter as well. The username is also in the description. And again, let me know in the comments what you think of the audio quality with the new microphone. Just let me know what you think. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, my name is Sam, and good night, everybody.